Red thunder, like you've seen it a million times.
Hey, good morning and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. I'm David Steele and I'm not losing my voice, I hope. But I'm sounding a little croaky. I'm sure that it'll improve. Well, it's Wednesday morning in the game and we are in Alaska. And as you can tell, we're not in Red Thunder. No, we're in a Scot A2HD. This is a new profile and a pretty new truck to me. So here's my truck. Let's go ahead and shut it down. Let's talk a little bit about what we're doing today. First things first, let's get the lights off so we don't flatten the battery. This is my Scot A2HD. It's a day cab. It's a 6x4 and it's powered by a NTC or a Cummins NTC Formula 270 with a 10-speed transmission. It's a direct drive 10-speed with a 325 rear end. So roughly 1500 revs gives me about 56 miles an hour. Now the Formula 270 is an interesting Cummins engine. It's almost as though Cummins tried to out-Mac a Mac. What I mean by that is it's got a pretty flat torque curve from about 1100 RPM to 1300. It's close to peak at 1000, it's close to peak at its governor of just 1600 revs. So yes, we do not have a particularly wide power band, but everything from about 1100 up to the governor, that whole 500 revs, that is, that's all power band. And we want to do, oh yes, that'll do nicely. We want to do some hauling today, so a couple hundred miles up to Anchorage. Anchor. That sounds familiar, it's because we like boats. Actually, I say we, it's more I like boats. Let's see, what cargo choices do I have? Let's try a flatbed double. I want to take as much mass as I can, so 720 pounds, okay. Yeah, I guess we'll try a straightforward flatbed. 33, it's 4,000 pounds less of cargo. What's a drop deck doing then? 33. Looks like it might be a double. Double has another advantage in that it's a little bit more maneuverable. What about a 3-axle drop deck? Okay, 36.8. It's not bad. I suspect that this will be just as light, but they do have a red one though. What's that showing? 36.8. Do I have a red double? No, it's a black double. I've got a red flatbed. 33. Well, I got a choice between either going with something that vaguely matches the color of the truck or going with something that's a double. I think I'm going to go, against my better judgment, I think I'm going to go with this one. It's going to be less maneuverable. The maneuverability is kind of a useful feature to have, and that's a pretty steep hill. You know, actually, that Cooper Landing hill, yeah, I may have to actually go for a smaller trailer, smaller payload. I know, I've messed everyone around. I'm sorry. Let's look at this flatbed. What's this? 30,000 pounds. 31. What's the little baby one? 18.4. So I've only got 270 horsepower, and I do have 1,020 foot-pounds of torque, and yes, I think in theory I could handle the bigger cargo. It would just really suck if I had to abandon my load, and I don't think I can afford to abandon my load either. Because I'm starting out a new profile, I don't have much money. So what's the split axle flatbed? What's that? 31. I'm going to go with that. It's a compromise. It's just over £30,000 plus the trailer. I might not be able to cope with this, but we will give it a go. Okay, let's go ahead and start the engine. Looks like I'll put that e-brake on, so let's put the e-brake in and let's go and pick it up. So a new profile, yes, and I'm running in Alaska right now. Now Alaska has not been basically certified for work with version 1.5, so I'm seeing a few glitches here and there. Typically some purple map or purple objects, which just means that the texture is not working or not loaded correctly. But otherwise, I mean, Alaska seems to work. And yes, I'm having some performance issues running the game. I would say not as many as I thought, but it's hard to quantify, I'm afraid. Does it run slower than 149? Yes, it does. Does it feel like it should? I mean, not really, because I don't see a reason why, like just there, it may not be you may not pick it up on YouTube, but it was lagging. These brakes are very sensitive. I should probably work on that. Now the Scot A2HD works perfectly well in 1.5. Better than the driver, it would seem. Did I line that up? No, I think I lined that up. That's most definitely not how you get a cargo, but I've turned off advanced coupling. Yeah, there we go. I hand waved it on there. Right, well that's got the cargo connected. Let's give it a quick tug test. I think I just put I did. Let's go ahead and trailer brake. Yep, I'd say that passes the tug test. Right. Without further ado, let's get on the way. Let's check how long have we got. So we've got 9 hours to complete this trip in, and it reckons it's 4 hours and 40 minutes. We'll get there at roughly 3 p.m. 1500 hours. I suspect it'll take us longer. Got to get a bit less power than we might otherwise expect, and the navigation system's a bit more optimistic. I'm running a hard economy mod in this profile, so we may not get there till a little bit later. Let's just check if my headlights on. I think they're on. No, they're not. Okay, well they need to be on. So one of the rules about Alaska is your lights should be on, your headlights. Okay. So the challenges of this truck, well, number one, the most obvious one, is not got much power. So 270 horsepower, it's not the least powerful truck in the game by at least 3 or 4 engines, and it's got a reasonable amount of torque given the engine power output, but it's not powerful. And the second issue is I guess the limited rev range, because 1100 to 1600 revs, it's 500 revs, and it's not bad. But if you want to try and climb that hill and you've only got 10 speeds, you're usually stuck between gears, so you have to go a little slower than you would otherwise like. Seems another issue I've got are these brakes are incredibly sensitive. I wonder if I should take a look at reduce those. Yeah, let's do that. Gameplay. What are my brakes at? Oh, that's not right. These should be turned way different. Very different actually. Okay. Well, yeah, I think I wanna tweak those. Let me go into my a note, giving me the settings that I quite like. Yeah, wow, these are very different. Okay, well this needs to be 65. Truck stability is all the way down to 15. I think I can edit this, can I? No, I guess not. That's 15 as well. Drive shaft torque 85. Suspension stiffness is I think 15 as well. Sounds about right. Cabin stiffness again 15. Or uneven surface 115. Yeah, I like it 115. Do I turn on advanced? I think it will. Okay, I think that's what I want. Let's just check that they saved. Yes, they did. Great. And I think I don't have an apply I can set. Excuse me. Right, let's go back to the truck. This should be quite a bit softer. Oh, I think that yeah, that looks like it's softer.
Right, and then turn left.
I like the truck to, well, like is a strong word. My preference for the truck is for it to feel a little wallowy, or a lot wallowy.
Turn left.
Yeah, this is more like it. I mean, and it is going to roll around and pitch around and all that kind of jazz. Yeah, the brakes are way less sensitive. I still managed to snatch and jerk as I pulled to a stop, but that's okay. Thanks for indicating sooner, mate. With your pickup drivers, okay. Right, let's go. I'm gonna be here all day otherwise. So I'm using the transmission in automated mode, and it's happy to short shift. Turn off that terribly annoying blinking off sound. Yeah, it's happy to short shift, which is good. But it does mean that we're in top gear really, really early. And I desperately need to drink. My what is that with my voice? It was perfectly fine until I started talking. Quick checking how much money I've got. So $3,300. That's actually plenty. I think I'll do okay. And this is going to get me $800 if I don't have any incidents. Whoa. That was nearly an incident. That's not a good sign. Been on the road for 5 miles. Okay. Yeah, this does feel like it might be slightly too much cargo for me, but I can't change it now. And if I need to drive it manually, I absolutely will. It's another issue with the Scot is you can't see the speedometer very easily. It's hidden behind a spoke of the wheel and that whopping great big trailer brake, which serves no purpose nor utility, it's just in the way. Thanks for that, Scot. Oh, I actually need to be in the left lane. Look at that power. I'm going to turn cruise control on to make it easier for me. That is pretty much full rate, and we're slowing down. Well, that's good, because I can take a little bit of water at this point, and just keep it pointing on the road. Right. Anchor point. That's always good. I like boats, and yes, I didn't push the button that time. Yeah, I'm very happy with starting a new profile. The original reason for it, I may have explained this, was just to see, hey, is the reason why my game lagging because of a mod I've got installed? So I added a new profile. Started it again, and of course, as you do quick jobs, you don't get the chance to see many mods. You do get some mods, but your graphic settings and your traffic settings will be present and correct, but no modded trucks. And I mean, performance initially seemed like it was running much better, and I'm of course thinking there's an issue with a mod I've got installed in my main profile. But as I kept on going and kept on looking, no, it was location. Depending on the location where I was, get off the side, David. It was, running terribly or running fine. And Alaska is not always the smoothest map to run. There's a lot of detail, but it was a lot smoother than this in 1.49. It's also challenging as well. I mean, here we are going back down to 35. My engine brake back on. Shift down. Gonna use the service brakes now. Okay. That's 35 roughly. Having just gotten up to 55, then we've got to brake speed down to 35, so there's a lot of that. And it's, in that regard, it's quite like driving around in Euro Truck Simulator 2, which I can find remarkably frustrating at times. Or let me get up to 80 kilometers per hour, or let me get back down to 60, or let's go down to 40. So, and that Europe is like that. Again, I'm hugging the shoulder. Or as my dad would say, the shock of the road. That's a Scottish term. If you don't know what shock is, then you can look it up. And I'm not going to spell it for you. Now, reasons why I like the Scot. Number one, it's got good visibility. This is a day cab, and it's a very simple, chunky shape. I'm not going to call it ugly. I'm going to call it functional. Okay, it is kind of ugly. Does that matter? No, not really. I mean, yes, it does, but no, it doesn't. And look at this. When I look over my shoulder, that huge big rear window. So I've got good visibility all around me, and that's actually important if I'm trying to maneuver, because I really want to maneuver my trailers in this profile. I want to try and, I don't want to say realistic, but I want to try and keep it as accurate, I suppose. Will I be spending a lot of time in Alaska? I don't know right now. I couldn't honestly say, because it depends on how I find the hill that we're going to come up to at some point soon. Let's get off the power. Oh, that was a big bump. Caused me to bit of bump oversteer there, or understeer actually.
Go straight.
Yeah, I'm going way too fast for what the truck can cope with. Who knew that this thing would be overhauling other traffic? And here we are overhauling someone who just braked going up a hill. Dude, really? Got my cruise at 20, and so I think it's 20. Yeah, and we're going to have to change down. What gear am I in? 7th. Still got a long way to go. 7th at 20 miles an hour. I think that shows kind of how short the gearing is, but it's also, it needs short gearing. It just doesn't have enough go-go to benefit from, you know, a 325 and an overdrive. That would just be too much. Okay, I'm going to get back on the service brakes. It picks up speed all too readily in appropriate moments. I don't have a retarder for this transmission. That might have been useful too. Okay, Soldonna. I guess that's how it's said. Anyway, I looked around at a lot of different trucks, and the one that stuck out for being inexpensive, it was a used truck. It was the Scot. Now, I did end up spending maybe $55,000 to $60,000 on it because I'd saved up a bit of money. I wanted to replace the engine with the Formula. It's not, none of these engines are really powerhouses, but the Formula does offer lower fuel consumption, and if you're on a budget with a hard economy mode, fuel consumption makes a big difference. Yes, I would have loved something like a Cascadia with maybe a DD15, a 505, but I couldn't afford to buy one of those, and I wasn't going to take out an enormous great big loan from the bank because that would not have been fun. So we're using this used Scot, and it's okay. Yes, I'm limited to 58 miles an hour. That's my governor in top gear, but stick the cruise on at 55 and you're gonna be okay. And I do stress the okay. Yeah, I'm saying that now. When I start to be able to do urgent deliveries, and I can't do those just yet, I'm going to be wanting to cruise at, you know, 65, 70, 75, or possibly even 80 where permitted, and I can't do that in this truck. So maybe Alaska's going to be right, because Alaska tends to give you very generous time. Let's see what... Yeah, I've got 5 hours in the bag. Part of that reason is these hills. Look at this monster hill I've come up to already. I'm at full power, 30 miles an hour in 9th gear. This isn't even the big gradient either. And, well, we aren't losing speed. And we are doing 1100 revs. So, I mean, we could drop it down, but I don't think we're going to go most anywhere because 1600 revs. So this is a compromise. Now we're picking up speed. In fact, pretty aggressively once we crest the hill. Yeah, it's a little hard to drive. It's a little floaty. Right, let's get my cruise on at 55. Let's see if we can get to 55 before we have to slow down for the next town or village. Sharp corner. Or we're forced to because of a gradient, but look at this. This, I guess the lanes merge and then downhill and then uphill. That looks like a long, steep gradient. So let's see what gear we end this one in. I'm going to opt for maybe 9th. We might have to shift down once. But let's see. 46. I can hear it slowing down. Yeah, there we go, 45. But it's not worth changing down. I'm at 1200 revs. So, yep, losing speed. I'm going to let the automatic transmission do its thing. There you go, down to 9th. Let's see, is it going to hold 9th? 36, 35. Yep, still losing a bit of speed. Now, about 31, 30 is when it's going to change down, I think. 32 is getting close. There's 31. All down to 30. Yeah, there we go, okay. Down to 8 to 29. So, does that give it enough power, I wonder? I think it is. Yes, it is. So, I'm going to tell the cruise to get me up this hill at 30. I've just basically backed it off. Reason being there is I don't need to work the thing at 100% load the whole way up the hill. I really don't need to be doing that. And in fact, if you look up above my windscreen, at the gauges, the third one from the left, you can just see it says the word temp right now. That is, I believe, my exhaust gas temperature, and that is showing 1100 degrees Fahrenheit. I cannot recall if that is bad or very bad, or just okay. But I don't really want to get that any hotter. And running the engine, in the real world at least, running the engine at lower revs and high output gives you slower exhaust gases, gives you lots more temperature. So we really might want to be changing down and then using more revs, but again, that's a limit of this engine. You don't have the ability to do that. Right, let's let the speed pick up. Set my cruise at 45. Okay, speed limit's 35, so we'll back it down to 35. And yeah, we actually slowed down to 35 very quickly, and that is a view. My engine brake on, I don't want to speed. He says as we start to speed. Okay. Oh yeah. Get my speed down a little bit. A little bit of flickering with the cloud there, seemingly on the horizon.
Keep left.
Okay. So I'm using the cruise control, the keyboard on the controller here, just to keep my speed in check. This is the hill, and there's no point in trying to bounce up here at 55, because one, I couldn't do it, and two, this truck in front of me is actually going slower. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to use my cruise up the hill, because I'm going too slowly. Yep, I am. Well, at least I'm not going to catch up with this truck. Let's see, what am I in? I'm in 4th gear. At the governor. I mean, yeah, it's going to get us up the hill, but if I try and shift up, maybe I try and shift up when we level off just in front of this road sign here. See if we can go up to sort of 5th gear, but this might be the compromise that we need to make. In fact, let's just look up a little bit of those instruments. Yeah, so you see how my EGT appears to have dropped to just 1,000 degrees? That's what I expected to do. At higher revs, it's going to run a lower temperature. So they may have modeled that correctly, and that's wonderful. Yeah, still at 1,000. Alright, let's kill my cruise.
Turn left.
Got to turn left here. It's 2 hours away. In terms of driving, oh, this is a wonderful little turning.
Left.
That was sarcasm. There's no point in being too particular. This white truck is hairballing down the hill, carrying wood. Alright, let's move off. So that's full power. See if we can do it. It's just short shifting. One of those cases where I may want to just shift it myself. Yep, I'm going to. So that's doing it manually, and I'll keep it in 6. Let's see if we can get it up to the governor. Nope. Drop to 5th. Another hard nope. Look at this sign mocking me saying 50. Yeah, I'm doing 13. Oh, 14. Look at that. A beast. And governor shift to 6. Still at 15, and yep, okay. So now it's actually gaining a bit of speed, so that's good. And it doesn't have much torque, but what it's got is using. I need this car to let me in, thank you. I mean, he didn't really have a choice, I was moving in, but... Maybe another governor shift, yep it is, there we go. So 16 down to about 1150 revs. And then, I mean, we're just keeping it at full power now. We want to try and get up this hill before tomorrow, maybe. And this is what will prevent me from spending too long driving around in Alaska. It's just these gradients are merciless for the lower powered trucks. I'm actually catching up with traffic. Let's turn my cruise on. And let's just put automated mode back in. Is it going to hold 24? I'm going to turn off the extra display on the right hand side. I don't need that anymore. And yeah, it looks like the other traffic has moved away. So let's go ahead and see if we can pick up a little bit of speed. It looks like it went up the hill. So was it the right choice to take the sort of medium cargo as opposed to the heavy one? I think it probably was. There's some more observations about 1.5. It is pretty, but turning off the graphic settings does not seem to make a difference to performance. It does work my CPU and my GPU harder than 1.49 for lower performance. So that's kind of telling. Getting my engine brake now. Yeah, it's not going to let me manually shift it down. Bit of service brake. That's where I had a little offing at one point. Quite a big offing actually. Ended up leaving the world. Yeah, I could point out all the areas on this map where I've had a crash, but there clearly aren't many. You'll just have to imagine I'm whistling at this point. Now, limit at 65 seems... Well, I couldn't get there under my own power yet. Yep, I'm under steering off. Okay. Oh, what was that? The heck was that? Did I run over something? Oh no. It was a big bump. Well, we're holding our speed at least. Sort of. We're actually picking up speed. Alright, let's force it to use 9th. I think it's realistic to be able to use more than 1600 revs with the engine brake on, so I can tweak the engine definition for that. I don't think it's it's unrealistic to do sort of 1900 revs on the engine brake. If you know different, please let me know in the comments below. But as I understand, it's not. It's okay to exceed the governed engine speed with the engine brake on. That's what it's designed for. Now, I may be completely and utterly wrong. I'm very happy to be wrong. And I have a career spent at being wrong, because every time you're wrong, you learn something, right? And this just reminds me of why Alaska is so pretty, and why I enjoy the game in this third-party map. Yeah, this is very nice. Well, I got my cruise set at 40, and I'm catching up with to the chemical truck I can see in the distance. I don't know. I'm still catching up with it. But see how it's doing 40 miles an hour in top gear. So we got 40 to 58 in 10th, which is pretty broad. Acceleration at this speed, minimal. But acceleration at most speeds is also minimal, so we're not really missing out too much here. Yeah, they're picking up speed now. We're coming into a hill, so we most definitely can't pick up speed, but we'll still try it. And maybe it'll pick up. Yeah, now I'm going too fast now, I reckon. Yeah, the game is a little janky at parts, but it does rob some of the enjoyment away from it, but I still enjoy it, and I'm confident that SCS will work on this and fix it. We may have to wait maybe a couple of minor updates to this 1.5, or if the rumors are true, they're going to work on it for 1.51 as well. Okay. 1500 revs and 55 miles an hour. This is pretty much my maximum cruising speed. I would say it's geared for California or geared for Alaska. I also think it's geared appropriately for the power we have available from the engine. Oh. Stationary traffic. Brake, brake, brake. Is there a collision here? Oh, it's a road closure. Oh, yay. That's always good for a laugh. Oh, thankfully it looks like we can take this ramp. So, and whatever the incident was, it looks like it's up the bridge, maybe.
Never mind.
Oh yeah, there's an ambulance there. What happened there? Car's on its side.
Then continue straight.
I'm going to be aggressive and take the left-hand lane.
Go straight.
I might regret this. Yeah, because this truck's turning off, which means there'll be a car next to me or something. Fire truck. Or bus. Buses are the worst. Okay, come on. We get to go now. Yay! Yeah, oh gosh, look at this thing rip the tarmac up as you just accelerate away. And everyone's turning right, so I made the right choice. Am I still using my indicator? Yeah, I was. Wow, I think everyone was turning off, so we actually, not only did we make the right choice, but we didn't get in anyone's way. And that's good, because I don't think I'm even doing 20 up this on-ramp. I'm at full power. There should be nothing on this highway, but look, there's a car. Aegis. Okay, well, stay in your lane. We've got to, yeah, turn the left up here. So we're right around the corner from the drop-off point, and we're in Anchorage, which makes me think of boats. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna stop that. think I stopped that. Hopefully I didn't inadvertently push the button 3 times and there's me looking like a captain. I'm going to run the red light. Oh, I should really get a fine for that,
Keep
but
left,
I didn't.
and then turn left.
Now this isn't my left turning, it's the next one. Okay. Nice yellow truck next to me. This is not one of mine.
Turn left.
How do I know it's not one of mine? I don't have any trucks. This is my only truck, and I have thought about giving the Scot to one of my drivers, or to hiring a driver and having them ride around, and I can continue doing quick jobs. But I really wanted to get out there and earn some money and explore the map with, I guess you might... Are these guys supposed to stop? I mean, no one's got a stop sign. If you live in Anchorage, or you've spent time in Anchorage, is that accurate? Is there just no stop signs and it's like free for all? I don't even have a stop sign here. There's a no entry sign, I think.
Turn right.
But I mean, yeah, there's no entry signs, but I don't have a stop sign. We made that a little clumsier than it should have been, but we didn't run into anything, so I think it was okay. Well, I think this has been a pretty uneventful trip. The Scot is... It's a very interesting truck. I remembered when they were first released, when it was first released,
Exit right.
and I was like, man, that thing is so... And I hesitate to say ugly because there's a certain beauty and charm in the way that it's being put together. It's not put together to look pretty. There's a bit of a nod towards aerodynamics, I think, with the way that the hood is shaped. But other than that, no, it's completely functional. It's boxy. Boxy is good. Yes, the instruments do appear to be haphazardly dotted around the cabin in just a random arrangement. But then, if you've driven a car in the 70s and 80s, that's kind of how they were. Some of them were, at least. Does it take away from the enjoyment? Well, no. I just know that my diesel gauge is the rightmost gauge here. Why is it the rightmost? I have no idea. And then next to it is battery voltage. And then the rest of them, I don't know what, I forget what they are. I don't know what they are. I have every reason to believe that that's exactly how the real thing was.
Get ready.
Well, it is, because I'm sure there are some still in service. Though I dare say not that many. These are late 70s, early 80s trucks. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm old, but this truck is nearly as old as me. The Macara is, of course, older. And to be fair, the W900 has been around since the 60s, as is the K100, so they're also older trucks. This one, I dare say, does look kind of old, and it's definitely 70s, 80s vibe going on, and look at the interior here, this patchwork effect. I mean, that's, that does kind of say old, but hey, if it worked, it worked. Right. Yep, here we are. Well, I think that just about calls it for today's video. I'm not going to ask anyone to stick around and watch me attempt to maneuver this truck into the spot. That is a horrible backing up to do. I'm not doing that. See this guy here, and this tank behind him. It's behind there. You got to back it up here and get it around the. No, I'm not doing that. I'm going to pretend that we didn't see it. Didn't see what? Exactly. Right, let's maneuver it around here. Yeah, I did not know. I don't want to do that. That's horrible. 90 experience points. It's not 6 times harder than this one. It's about 12 times harder, and it's not worth the hassle, aggravation, and 45 minutes of my life and yours if I put it into a video. Not to mention the time it would take to render it. No, I just don't want to do it. Right, well, here we are. Serious? Okay, well, here we are, even though it doesn't look like we made it, so I'm going to go ahead and call it. Thanks ever so much for watching. Hope that you had a good time, hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Goodbye. Seriously, I think